Yo guys, what's going on? It's Rose here, bringing you guys a brand new video here for WPF Season 5 of the Delta Division. I am super excited to bring this to you guys. I want to give a huge shout out to the mod team, Zom and Thomas, and the entire WPF ownership for allowing me back in this season, and I cannot wait to get started. We had the 14th pick this season, and, which is honestly a pretty decent pick because it's like you don't get necessarily the best of the best mons in the format, but you get some of the best, like, second tier mons, and that's exactly what we did with our first pick. We are selecting Kevin, our Tornadus Therian. I am super excited. We are doing like a Pixar naming theme for this season, and I'm super excited to use Torn T here. This is actually a Terra Captain for us, so same as last season, you get to choose 2 to 3 Terra Captains. You get 28 points to have a budget for them, and Torn was 20 of those 28 points, so hopefully it works out for us, because that's a lot of budget for one mon. But super excited to use Torn T here. I cannot wait, and I'm super excited here. Hits super hard, is very fast, and honestly, as a Terra Captain, it's one of the better ones in the format, so hopefully we can put in some work this season. Next up is a mod I have never used before. I always like to try and use some stuff I haven't used before, or at least have not used in a very long time, and Urshifu Single Strike is no stranger to that. I have never used this mod before. I don't think I've ever used an Urshifu before at all, because I don't think I've used Rapid Strike before, and honestly, super excited. It has fallen off definitely in Gen 9, however, I think it is still one of the stronger physical breakers in the format, and for decently cheap, I only paid 14 points for Urshifu, which traditionally is very, very, very cheap for Urshifu. But I'm not going to complain about that. Very excited to use Urshifu this season. Very excited. I think it's going to be so good for us. Sully here is going to put in a lot of fucking work for us this season. Next up, we have Tinkaton, Bo Peep, our Tinkaton. I am very excited to use Tinkaton. I mean, obviously, I've used it before. I used it, I think, in PBAL, and I think I've used it once or twice before then as well. So it's definitely one of my more recurring mons in Gen 9, but I think I've always used it at least decently well. I think it's a very good utility mod, getting access to stuff like Knockoff and Thunderwave, Stealth Rocks, Encore, all that kind of fun stuff. Fake Out, I think it screens as well, if I remember correctly. Like, Tinkaton is a very, very, very solid mon, and it's a really good glue piece for most teams. And it's also one of those rare opportunities for a Fairy type to help deal with Fairy types. It doesn't hit super strong, but getting access to Gigaton Hammer at base 160 power, like, it's a very strong attack. So it's going to hit decently hard against most of those Fairy types. Next up, we're bringing Pecharunt. I am super excited for Pecharunt. Fear our Pecharunt here. Honestly, I've never used it before. Actually, that's not true. I did use it in SDA a while back, but I took over for like half the season, so I don't really like count that. So Pecharunt for us, honestly, it doesn't help the ground weakness that we have now developed between it and Tinkaton, and we don't really have a great switch into it. But I'm hoping that, honestly, it's strong bulk. Being base 88 across the board and then having 160 in its defense is fantastic. It's super bulky, and it's got some great versatility in its sets. The move pool is not very diverse. However, it can be one of those things where it's like, it can be a setup option. It can be just a bulky pivot. It can be, it can be a couple different things. It can be a Scarfer, Choice Specs. It's got some options, and I'm very excited to use it this season. Next up, we have Sisu, our Hydrapple. Very excited for Hydrapple. I grabbed it because obviously I needed a ground switch in, and this was one of the better ones left on the board. There was a couple of other ones that I definitely could have grabbed, but I honestly think Hydrapple was one of the better ones left around, and it fits this team really well. It also gives me a good regen core between it and the Torn T. So I'm very excited to use it. I think Hydrapple is very strong. Fickle Beam is honestly one of the best Dragon type moves in the game. Only being base 80 power is not great, but there's a 30% chance that it gets doubled automatically to 160, and I really like that. Also getting access to Nasty Plot, Recover, Dragon Tail, Earth Power, Hydro Pump, which I think is really cool. There's a lot of different things that Hydrapple does that I'm very excited to see how it performs this season. Next up, we have Wade Ripple, our Vaporeon, making his return from the PBAL, and I'm very excited. It is not a Terra Captain for us this time. However, I do really think that Vaporeon is still going to perform just as well as it did for us in PBAL. It's going to don a little bit of a different role this season because obviously in PBAL, because of the Terra aspect, I was able to do a lot of setup, sweeping, and all that. Whereas here, it's going to be mostly a lot of pivoting. It's going to be some, some wish passing, stuff like that. Doing some damage as well, don't get me wrong, it's very strong. But the main bulk of it, it's a utility mon in this team, and I'm definitely excited to use it again. Next up, we got Slink, the Dunsparce, which is our second Terra Captain. I am very excited to use Dunsparce here. I've never used Terra Dunsparce, and it's always been a mon I've wanted to try. It has a ton of utility between Rocks, Glare, being two of its main things. It gets Toxic as well. It gets reliable recovery in Roost. It can be a physical or special setup threat with Calm Mind and Coil, and a great move set on both sides. So I'm very excited to see how it performs for me this season. There's also a couple of matchups that I'm already thinking about bringing it to, so hopefully we can put in some work with it this season. Next up, we got Bing Bong, our Donphan. Normally, Donphan has donned the name Donphampus, but this season with the Pixar theme, we are running Bing Bong from Inside Out. If you guys don't know what Donphan does, I mean, honestly, this is one of the best. I mean, this is like a top 3, top 5 spinner in the format right now. And we have one of the best, if not the best, spin blocker in the format right now, so it's like we don't have to worry about it as much. It gets a ton of moves, getting access to, like, obviously Earthquake, it gets, like, Play Rough, Ice Spinner, it gets Knockoff, it gets Gunk Shot, it gets, I think, Seed Bomb. Like, there's a ton of things that it gets. It gets Ice Shard as well. Rocks and Rapid Spin are 2 moves that's going to be running a lot. Knockoff as well. It gets Roar, I mean, you can do some Custat Berry stuff, you can get Counter as well. There's a lot of different things you can do with Donphan. It's a very versatile mon, and I'm very excited. Next up, we have Gardevoir. We have Pearl, our Gardevoir, little squid from Finding Nemo. I am very excited to use Gardevoir. I've never used her before, but I've seen Kaz the Weeb, one of my good buddies, who's using it in SPDA right now, and honestly, it looks like a lot of fun. This is a mon that base 80 speed is nothing to scoff at, because honestly, it's a really good Choice Scarf option, and I'm really excited to see how it fits in to the team this season. It's a strong Psychic type, which is really nice, and it's a strong offensive fairy, whereas Tinkaton is more of a, like, utility kind of fairy. So this, I think, actually benefits my team significantly. This is also a really good special breaker, which outside of Torn, I don't really have. So I'm definitely excited to use it this season. Next, we have Wazowski, the Ogerpon Teal. I am super excited to use Ogerpon. I feel like I've literally used every Ogerpon recently. I've used IBL, we had Wellspring, or we have Wellspring as I'm recording this. My season hasn't quite ended yet, so hopefully that goes well. In PPL, which I think the video should have gone up, we had Cornerstone, which I actually really did enjoy using it there. I've used Hearthflame once or twice in the past, so Teal was the last on that checklist, and I'm super excited to use Ogerpon here. Obviously, you guys already know what Ogerpon does. It's a fast mon, it gets spikes, U-turn, knockoff, it gets a lot of different stuff that it can do. It's a very good utility mon, because it's not going to hit as hard because I'm not able to Terra it, but I do still think that Wazowski here is going to perform almost as well as we've had our Ogerpons perform for us in the past. And then last but certainly not least, we have Luxo Jr., the Ampharos, which is our last Terra Captain. Honestly, for 1 point, you really can't ask for too much. I do technically have a point left over, but it was either a 1 point Terra Captain or a 2 point non-Terra Captain, and I just valued that Terra a little bit more, at least for the value that I was getting out of it. Ampharos is actually pretty solid. Getting access to Static as an ability is really, really nice. We don't have to worry about the lack of recovery because of the Wish Passing we can get from the Vaporeon. It's a great Assault Fist user. It's got some decent moves as well, and adding Terra just makes it that much better. So I'm very excited to use Ampharos. I don't think it's going to come too much, but I think it's going to come maybe like 2, maybe 3 games. We'll see. But I think those games that it does show up, it's going to perform very, very well. But that is going to do it, guys. Let me know what you guys think of my team down below. Make sure to hit that like and that subscribe button before you head out. And I will see you guys in week 1. Peace out.